Hi, I need to build an amplifier for a servo motor. So for that purpose I bought from AliExpress an amplifier. It cost 3 or 4 euros. So this thing is based around the TDA 7293. I have in my stock this aluminium plate. It is a long dissipator. I will cut 15 or 20 centimeters of this thing. So the gain should be adjusted. So I have this potentiometer here. So I will use an aluminium front plate here. In this front plate I will have the 2 input terminals, the same as the output, and the power supply will be on this side. I will need a ground and a positive and negative power supply. This thing can work up to plus or minus 60 volts, but I will need only at maximum 26 volt AC. So a power supply of 30 volts or something like that will be enough. So I will start to cut this dissipator with the correct dimension. So I will need 2 inputs in this area. I will need the amplifier, which will be there. Outputs and the power supply. So the power supply, I'm not sure I will have the place for that here, so maybe I will need to place the power supply here. Okay, so the potentiometer will be also somewhere maybe on this on the front panel, so I think it will be okay. So I will cut this dissipator. I think 22 centimeters will be okay, and after I will drill the holes for that. So I will need 10 minutes, I think, and after I will build this amplifier kit, and I think after 1 hour this thing will be finished. Then I will perform some tests on it. Okay, I will assemble the kit now, and after I will assemble everything together, and I will make some tests. Okay, I finished the assembly of this amplifier. So I have removed the feedback resistor here, 22K. I will replace this resistor by a potentiometer of 5K. I have changed also this resistor here to 56 ohms. So the gain will be adjusted from 10 to 100 using this potentiometer here. Okay, so the amplifier is ready to use. This thing is finished. I've connected the amplifier to a power supply, plus or minus 30 volts. Connected the input here to a function generator, this one here. Now we'll connect the output to the oscilloscope and let's see what's happened. I don't know if it works. It will be the first time I will connect this thing. I will change a little bit the orientation of the camera. It will be better like that. Okay, so for the moment there is no load. Okay, so I will turn on the power supply. Okay, the current is moderate, 100 milliamp or something like that. I will turn on the function generator. I will set the frequency to 400 Hz. Okay, output is turned on, so we have something. The amplitude is 10 millivolts, so effectively it's very small at the input. I will increase the amplitude of the function generator. I will set to 100 millivolts. Okay. The potentiometer seems unstable. Okay, I think I will have to change it. So the gain is maximum here. You can test the input voltage. So there is a RMS voltage of 355 millivolts. So you have a voltage of 24 volts RMS. So we have a gain of 67, something like that. And here the gain is maximum. Okay, so I think I will change the potentiometer anyway, and I will increase the value. I will use 10 kilo ohms. This will permit to have a gain of 130 maximum, because this one has seen better days. It is very unstable. So let's see the bandwidth. There is something weird. Yes, probably. As I have reduced this value, need probably to increase this value. This oscillation are probably caused by the transformer. I will add a load at the output. Okay, it's better. This is with 10 ohms load, 100 ohms load, sorry. So we have RMS voltage of 3 volts. The power is not very large. And I was not with the correct probe. So we have a very small voltage actually. Okay, so I remove this little board here and try to find the schematics of all this electromechanic part. We have the motor, we have this sensor, and we have also on the other side, so we have this small electromagnet here in order to activate the flag here. And we have also an overrun switch here. So I will first draw the pinout of this connector here. So we have 2 lines of 4 terminals here. I have another one here. And 2 others. Okay. So first we can see the pinout of the switch, for example. Okay. So we have this one. And this one. H and K. And then the small electromagnet. So the red wire is not connected to the terminal. So maybe it is connected to this thing. Okay, so the black is connected here. And the red at this point here. So the black to terminal M. Okay. Okay, so let's remove this small board to see the wiring of this thing. Okay, so we can see, try to make a zoom. So this should be diodes. It is called the ZS 20B or something like that. Yes, ZS20B. So it seems that they are connected in a bridge configuration. So maybe this thing is to rectify the AC voltage and to drive the flag electromagnet. Maybe we'll see. I try to do the connections of this thing. So I think that the dot is the anode, but I'm not sure. I will test. Okay. So the dot is the anode. So we have a first diode between these 2 points here. Okay, we have a second one. The anode is here. Okay, so this one here. So from this point, and this goes to the top terminal. Oh yes, it was the terminal here. Okay, I think I am in the wrong direction. Okay, because this was on the right. So from this point, yet it's a good sign, because on this point, which goes to the positive, we have the 2 anodes here. And the second one goes here. Okay, and this point. Okay. Okay, so that makes sense. So this is a bridge rectifier actually. These 4 diodes here, in order to activate this flag, where it is here, this electromagnet, which is a DC electromagnet. So this is a red and black. So normally this should be connected maybe to the rear connector. Let's see. So terminal G and G. So G. Okay, we have this one. Continuity. Okay, so D is number A. And the other one is K. Okay, so that makes sense that it is B. Okay, so we can check first maybe the activation of this thing. I will reinstall only one screw. Okay, so I will use my amplifier, the HP 6826. I will set the voltage to 26 volt. Okay, so we will test the flag. Okay, but I think it is the same voltage than the voltage of the excitation, because I have seen that this thing is moving a little bit. So I think the excitation is also connected to the same voltage, which makes sense. So we test. Okay. So we have also the excitation here. So the sensor here, so you have an excitation coil. And you have two other coils. So the excitation coil is connected also to A and B. And the two other coils are connected in series, in opposition. And this I don't remember. I have tested yesterday, but okay, so this is D. And the other one. The other one is C. That makes sense. A, B, C, D. The remaining terminals are probably for the motor. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the wires for the motor here. So we have a black, white, red, yellow, and two are connected together. The green and the red and black here. So this is maybe a common terminal. So normally we should have one independent coil for the reference phase. It is 115 volts. So probably this is the resistance, which should be a few hundred ohms. Okay, so between the white and the yellow, you cannot see, but there is a resistance of 400 ohms, something like that. And this is independent from the other one. So this is obviously the excitation coil of the motor, white and yellow. So I will check now where they are connected, maybe E and F. Okay, so this is G. And the yellow. Okay, the yellow is also connected to terminal B. And now we have this common point. Okay, so I have 13 ohms between the red and the black. Okay, so this is the middle point. So the motor, I will draw the motor here. So the common point to this point, C, to F. Okay, it's connected to F. The other ones are the black. Okay, so the black is E. And the red, there are only two left, G, E. Okay, I made a mistake.